The fourth step of the project process is the design estimate phase. Here, the coordinator will basically pick up the project and answer just a couple of basic questions about the scope. So as a coordinator, we see that we have a little badge indicating that something needs our attention here, and so we can dive into the design estimate. So once again, we get an item here showing us the project that is currently in the design estimate phase. We can tap on that and select the button at the top, which is Add Estimate. As with some of the other forms we have seen, there is a little button here at the top which can take us to the full details for our project. And if we needed to, we could look at the documents. So for example, we can click on Documents here. We can see any documents that have so far been submitted by the requester. We also have documents here that is basically just for the internal project staff. So if we want to add some documents here during the initial planning phases, we can do that by clicking on the menu button here. So let's return to our project summary. And now, better understanding what the project entails, we can now return to our design estimate form. So you'll see that there are two required fields here. We need to decide whether a design is required and whether any space allocation is required. In the design area here, if we check either not required or required, there's no estimate that needs to be provided. However, if we do check the outside design, we need to decide how much we're expecting this design to cost. So let's go ahead and leave it on outside design, since that makes the project the most complete we can see. And under space allocation, we'll go ahead and click on required as well. So before we can move this ahead into the design phase itself, we need to enter some details here about how much we expect this design to cost. So we're going to be a little bit outlandish here, and we're going to type in $240,000. With that amount set, we also, as with some of the other forms, we get an option to enter some comments. And after we've entered any comments we wish, we can now push Save at the bottom, and that will go ahead and advance the project into the design approval phase. So any of the funding that we have specified is required will now need to be entered by the requester and their manager.